Which one is cheaper, Bali or Thailand? I have lived in Bali over 3 years and also spent over 5 months in Thailand in 5 different islands and cities. So in this video I will give you a full cost breakdown of both of these destinations with examples, so you will see exactly which one is cheaper and more worth it for you. How cheap destination is of course important, but even more important in my opinion is the lifestyle and the value you get with your money in those places. So I will focus on that a lot during this video also. So let's dive straight in and start with transportation. I of course love to have a scooter. In Asia that's the best freedom feeling, and it's just so amazing to drive around with a nice scooter. Here in Bali I have brand new NMAX scooter that is awesome. It's so nice to drive with that. It's so comfortable, so easy to go anywhere. So that's basically my dream scooter, I would say. I don't need anything more. That's the best ever. And I pay $129 USD per month for that scooter, so I'm super happy with that cost. Similar scooter in Thailand is more over $200 per month, so still it's fine for me, but it is quite expensive, especially if you're on a budget. It's not very realistic to pay that much for a scooter, but that's for brand new NMAX. So of course you can in both destinations find way cheaper prices for smaller scooters. I will list some of the prices here in both destinations, but generally I would say that Thailand is definitely a bit more expensive when it comes to renting scooters. And also when it comes to going around with taxis, when it comes to cars and also scooter taxis, here in Bali it's so easy. In Canggu especially, it's so easy to go around with Go Check and Grab. It's very affordable with the scooters but also cars. In Thailand, of course, in Phuket and Bangkok for example, it is quite easy and quite good price. It's more expensive for sure than in Bali, but it still works pretty well. When it comes to the smaller places like Koh Phangan that I love the most in Thailand, my favorite place, it's not that easy. There's not any app to book taxis. So I would say this category, Bali wins it easily. Also the quality of the scooters is better here, so they have less problems and it feels more smooth. I guess they take better care of them. So easy win for Bali, but yeah, Thailand is still good. It's not bad. By the way, like the video and subscribe if you enjoy these kind of videos. But yeah, the next category is accommodation. It's of course very important to have a comfortable, nice accommodation in area you enjoy. It makes a huge difference to your enjoyment of the place. And what's great about Thailand, that most islands and cities have a lot of condo buildings. There's a lot of apartments. So it's kind of easy anywhere in Thailand to find something that is pretty comfortable because it's proper apartment with kitchen and everything. And in Bali it's more of guest houses and villas. And what I like for low budget of course in Bali is the guest houses. That it's pretty nice because the prices are of course cheaper when you have smaller room and not your own kitchen, proper apartment, and you don't really need the kitchen because in Bali there's just unlimited food and it's easy to order, and it's affordable to eat out. So me and most people here, we eat all our meals out or order from restaurants, so you don't need your own kitchen. I really don't need it. And that's a good way to save some money. And also guest houses are pretty nice because usually in one guest house there's 8 to 15 rooms in one place. So you end up meeting easily those people, becoming friends with them because you live in the same place, you see them often there. So that's pretty nice thing about Bali. But of course having a proper apartment and always having more options for apartments is really nice in Thailand. In Bali sometimes a little bit struggle nowadays to find something that is a good deal and comfortable place in good area. But yeah, in Thailand you basically pay around $900 to $1,200 per month for a nice apartment in good area during the high season. And during low season similar place can cost anywhere from $600 to $900 per month, so quite more affordable. And in Bali you will be paying around $650 per month if you get a good deal in really comfortable nice place in good area. You can't really get cheaper than that nowadays, but that's the cheapest you can get for a nice place like mine. But that price is any time of the year. But if you're actually staying long term in a place like Bangkok, you can find really awesome condo buildings that are quite affordable when you rent it yearly, not monthly. In Bali, for yearly rental, it's not so easy to find a similar place for sure. But in Bali, of course, there's more villas, so you can find more of those. So a little bit different. And you can check my Bali Life and Southeast Asia Stays video guides for more information about the best areas to stay and all of my accommodation recommendations and basically a lot more, everything you need to know when you're coming to these destinations. And of course, both of these destinations have a lot of options when it comes to more local accommodation that is not so modern, not so new, not so comfortable, but it's way cheaper. And you can find this, for example, in the Facebook groups, and it can be all the way down to $200 to $300 per month. And I would say in Thailand, it can be a little bit easier to find like more better options when it comes to local accommodations. I have friends staying in Thailand in pretty nice looking places that are more like local style, but still looking pretty decent and clean for that kind of money. The next category is visas. So basically, if you want to stay a little bit longer, of course you need to figure out like what kind of visa you're gonna get. When you're coming for up to 2 months in either of the destinations, it's very simple. Thailand is nowadays, I think for most countries, 60 days for free visa on arrival, so that's really easy. In Bali, it's also very simple for 60 days, but for the first 30 days, you need to pay $32 and then extend again for extra 30 days, again for $32. So some extra cost, but it's a very simple process. And if you want to stay longer without leaving the country, there's a lot of visa options in both of these countries. And I would say Thailand definitely have a little bit better and cheaper options when it comes to the little bit more long-term visas, but both of them have them, so you can figure it out. You can check my guides again for more detailed information about the visas. The situation is always a little bit changing, but you can expect to pay around like $50 or less per month when it comes to the more long-term options for visas. So I would give this category to Thailand, but it's kind of the same again. And when it comes to working in these places, of course, many of us work online when we stay in these destinations. Co-working spaces and Wi-Fi are in both destinations very good. There's a lot of options. Bali is maybe, especially in Canggu again, like there's more options for co-working spaces. There's good options, like even Tribal is like it's free. You can just go in. There's good Wi-Fi. Generally, Wi-Fi is good in both places. Thailand has better Wi-Fi generally, but Bali is also really good, so no problem there. Next, I will compare food, gyms, activities, and going out. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is a award-winning flavored air device. It throws an enjoyable flavor to your mouth and fills the void ditching a bad habit can leave. You still have something to reach for that is not bad for you. So Fume is not actually a vape. There's no vapor, so you can use it anywhere. And no nicotine, so it's not addictive. And you have many non-toxic flavors to choose from. Also, there's no batteries, so you never need to charge it. And it just looks awesome. It's made to fidget with, so it calms anxiety with magnets, snaps, and clicks. Fume has already served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use my code Nomad and get a free topper. It's the perfect accessory for your Fume device. Slip it onto the mouthpiece for a softer, warmer feel. It's chewable for those who love to fidget, and it's reusable. Head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, and use code Nomad or scan the QR code on screen to get your free Fume topper when you order your journey pack today. But now back to the video. Okay, next let's talk about food. When it comes to restaurants, cafes, local food, Western food, and also groceries in the supermarkets. So yeah, as I said before, most people eat all of the meals out in Bali, not really cook themselves, but some people actually cook also, and there's a lot of affordable options for groceries here also. But food is definitely something that is really awesome in Bali. There's a million options for local food, Western food, any cuisine, and food is really good in Bali. I would say generally Western food especially, it's much better in Bali than in Thailand. But when it comes to local food, of course, most people prefer Thai cuisine than Indonesian. I like the Indo food, but yeah, I don't eat it that often. When I'm in Thailand, I eat the local food a little bit more often. And in Thailand, for a local dish in a like decent restaurant, it's like $2 to $3.50. So it's good price for like really amazing food, really tasty and like quite filling. In Bali, for a similar thing, you would pay around like $1.50 to $3. So it is a little bit cheaper than in Thailand. The local food in both places can be decently healthy, but I don't like to eat a lot of local food in either of the places because it's a little bit, it doesn't feel so fresh. doesn't feel so super healthy. So I end up eating way more often in the Western restaurants. And as I said, in Bali, there's way more options for that, for any type of food, healthy food, protein, whatever you want. And it's around like $4 up to $7 for a dish, like a really good, nice dish in the Western restaurants here. In Thailand, the Western food is less good, there's less options, and it's a little bit more pricey. Around $5.50 up to $12 per dish. So yeah, definitely way better in Bali. What's also nice in Thailand that they have a lot of these famous food markets. In Bali, we don't really have that kind of stuff, so that's amazing in Thailand. I love to go those to get some juice and some food, and it's really affordable. And so many different flavors and things to try, of course. Ordering food is also really good in Bali. You can order anywhere, it's very cheap, it's very quick, it works very well. You can use Grab or Gojek, 2 apps. In Thailand, it's not as seamless in most places. There's not so many good options. It's not as cheap, but it still works decently in Phuket, Bangkok, again, in these places. But when it comes to smaller places like Koh Phangan again, they have a local app. It doesn't work so well. It's not so reliable. It's way more expensive and slower, and there's not so many options to order from, but it's still, like, it's fine there also. So it's easy win for Bali when it comes to food, especially here in Canggu. Quick mention about coffee, by the way. It's definitely, I would say there's more options and better options for coffee in Bali because a lot of Australian people come here and it's a big thing in Aussie, of course. So coffee is really good here. It's quite affordable. There's a lot of options. Even in a place like this, like with pool and like a really nice place to work and chill, it's still quite affordable. So coffee is really good in Bali. Thailand also can be decent, of course, but Bali is top notch. And groceries in Thailand is definitely better. There's big supermarkets like Makro and Lotus. They're really big supermarkets with a lot of options, a little bit more affordable than in Bali. There's decent supermarkets here also, but a little bit smaller, not so many good options, not so many good deals. So yeah, it's definitely better in Thailand. Also, you end up having those like apartments with kitchen more often. So it's actually pretty nice to cook in Thailand. So if you like to cook your own meals, Thailand is definitely better in that case. What about gyms? In Bali, you can find options for any budget. You can find pretty nice local gyms for $3 per session. And also there's some options around $90 for pretty nice gym with sauna and ice bath and all stuff like that. So that's pretty decent. And of course there's these like amazing luxurious gyms that are like really awesome, like so good experience, like super clean, super modern, very beautiful sauna, ice bath, jacuzzi, steam sauna, really good gym, and like other things like yoga lessons, and like there's so much in these gyms that are really awesome, like Wrong Gym, Elite Fit, Nirvana, like Bali Social Club also. Like there's so many gyms like this that are awesome, but they can be quite expensive here, around like $175 per month. So super expensive, but the experience is really amazing. I love these kind of gyms, and in Thailand they don't really have that kind of gyms anywhere. But the good thing about Thailand is, for example, in Koh Phangan, they have pretty nice gym with sauna and ice bath and steam sauna that has really good vibe, very beautiful, not as clean, not as modern, sometimes weird smell coming in, sometimes really dirty locker room. So the experience is not as nice as in Bali in these more expensive gyms, but it's quite much cheaper. It's $55 for a month. Like it was really nice experience meeting people in the sauna, and like yeah, it was more cheap and just still super beautiful with ocean view and everything. So I would give this category a tie, even if, yeah, I mean, or maybe for Bali, because I love the expensive gyms here. Like now when I'm able to pay for that, I'm just super happy going there. Like it's just the best experience. And next, let's talk about different activities like padel, yoga, Muay Thai, and surfing. Surfing is definitely better in Bali. Like the waves are always good. You can go surf pretty much every single day. It's around like $350 for a surfboard rental for a few hours. So very affordable if you don't need a teacher. One negative here in Canggu is that the ocean water can be a little bit, there's some bacteria they tested sometimes. So you can get Bali belly, like a little sick from it, I guess, but a lot of people surf every day and don't get sick, so I'm not sure how the situation is there. Just a disclaimer, but it's very affordable and nice any day to go, so that's super nice in Bali. Comparing to Thailand, of course, most places in Thailand don't have surfing, don't have waves. In Phuket, there's some beaches that are really beautiful and have surfing, but the waves, especially like when I've been in Phuket, like Most of the days the waves are super tiny and there's few people surfing but not really getting any waves. But if it's good there, the beach is more beautiful, the water is more clean. Of course in Bali, by the way, you can of course go to Uluwatu to surf, but I don't like to live in Uluwatu, but you can surf there and it's much better there. Quite crowded though. In Thailand, in Phuket, what I saw, it wasn't so crowded, but the problem is more of the waves are not so good. But the surfboard rental itself was $9 for a few hours in Phuket, so a little bit more expensive, but still I guess it's fine. And paddle in Bali and especially in Canggu, it's the best. There's so many amazing clubs, it's so beautiful, and there's so many people playing here, so you can find open games super easy any day, and it's just the best vibe to play paddle here. And it's around $50 for an hour open match, so you just pay for yourself, basically being one of the 4 people. In Thailand, there's not as many nice clubs, and especially like in Koh Phangan, there's few paddle clubs, but there's just not so many people playing, so it's hard to find open games and like your level and the times you want to play. It's very difficult there. I joined some tournaments in Koh Phangan, it was pretty nice also, but clearly not as nice as in Canggu. But actually it was a little bit cheaper, around $6 per hour per person. For yoga in both countries, of course, there's a lot of options and nice options. I would say maybe Bali a little bit better and more, and the prices in both places around like $850 for a class. And what about Muay Thai and boxing classes? Of course, Thailand, Muay Thai, it's a big culture and there's a lot of gyms for that. But also in Bali, like martial arts in different ways are very popular here when it comes to MMA, boxing, Muay Thai. There's a lot of options. What I love to do in Bali, there's for example this one guy I always go to do private lesson. It's only $10 for 1 hour private class. You can go alone or with a friend and it's $10 per person. So really affordable, really nice. But also in Koh Phangan, for example, MAA is really beautiful gym to do Muay Thai in a group class. So different experience because it's group class, it's not private, but it was $13 for that class. So pretty decent price, I guess, but it's not private, but it's just the culture in Thailand is really amazing. Also watching Muay Thai is a little bit different. But yeah, overall, when it comes to all these activities, I would say Bali is a little bit better for sure because there's just more people doing this and more clubs, and especially in Canggu, it's like a city, there's so much. So in that way, Bali is better. Prices are quite similar. Thailand can be even a little bit cheaper actually. So in that way Thailand is kind of better, but yeah. And what about going out and buying drinks and stuff like that? I would say Thailand of course have like full moon parties and like very special parties, especially in Koh Phangan, waterfall parties, beach parties, there's so much. And in Bali there's more of like bigger clubs, beach clubs, and a lot of bars and a lot of places to go of course. And in both places, buying a beer in bar or club is around $3, so quite good price for both places. I have to say I don't really go out that much, so I'm not the expert in this topic, but I would say both places are quite the same price. Pretty cheap and pretty nice. Like if you enjoy going out, both places can be super nice. The vibe of going out can be a little bit different. Thailand is of course famous of those like bar streets with a lot of things there. Bali doesn't really have any like that. And other costs like laundry, soaps and barber and SIM card and stuff like that is pretty similar in both places. So not much difference there. It's quite affordable. It's Asia. One thing is that in Thailand, when you get cash, you can't, like it always costs some money. So that's a negative there in Bali. I always get cash without any fees. So that's a little benefit of Bali. So what I would say generally, Bali can be a little bit cheaper. I love to stay in both places, many places in Thailand, many places in Bali, but Canggu definitely, especially living here long term, it feels a little bit more affordable than anywhere in Thailand. Like I feel the difference, especially when it comes to the food and scooters and maybe accommodation a little bit. So that's my experience, but both places are very nice and affordable. The topic is of course quite complicated, it's not same for everybody. But yeah, I hope you got value out of this video. Don't forget to check out Fume if you think that's valuable for you and use my code YOSO the Nomad. But anyway, like and subscribe and see you next week.